set of unfortunate circumstances that lined up just together.
Investigators say a recently installed stove and uncapped gas line set off last night's home explosion in Beloit. Investigators say the two people injured in that blast did the work themselves.
The victims remain hospitalized after being pulled from the rubble there. Fire investigators wrapped up a press conference some 2 hours ago. News 3's Theo Keith back at the scene just off Meredith Drive in Beloit. Theo?
Eric and Michelle, want to show you how bad this scene really is. You've got belongings and siding in the yard. You've got a fence, a neighbor's fence that's completely bowed out, stuff up in the neighbor's trees. But this is the view that shows how bad this is. The victims were underneath here, and now the insurance company will get 30 days to raise this place. There will be no criminal liability, the fire chief says, for the explosion that leveled this home, calling it just a set of unfortunate circumstances. The tenants, the victims, Todd and Tara Purdy. Tara, 33, she's at UW Hospital with minor burns. Todd, 37, he's at UW Hospital in the burn unit with second and third degree burns. Crews were able to save one dog from the home, but another died.
The amount of damage that occurred, the type of explosion that occurred, the fire that we had, it was very, we're very fortunate that these folks survived.
Oh no, this is beyond anything. This is terrible. This is, they're lucky the ones that got out of it, very lucky.
The couple just moved in a couple of weeks ago. They had turned on that new gas stove to make dinner when gas started to fill up the basement and then exploded. Tara was in the bathroom on the first floor when the explosion happened. Crews rescued her out of the roof. Todd was a little more difficult to get to because he was underneath the first floor in the basement. Crews took more than an hour to get to him, although it is unbelievable that both of them made it out of here alive. Eric and Michelle, back to you.
Boy, I'll tell you, devastating scene there. Theo Keith live in Beloit. Theo, thanks. Now take a look at this photo. This is what the home looked like in July of last year. News 3 did a little digging here and found city records that show what that home looked like before the explosion. Now compare that to what it looks like now. What you just saw in Theo's story, total devastation. You can take a look at those photos for yourself on our Channel 3000 Facebook page.
As you can imagine, that scene drew in a lot of people curious to see what was left of the Meredith Drive home. One by one, sometimes in groups, several people stopped by to see the impact of Sunday's explosion. Drivers packed the dead-end street with cars. Neighbors who were home at the time say it actually sounded like fireworks had gone off, but many, of course, could not believe their eyes.
I just saw some smoke coming from the house down there, and I think a little fire. And then I kind of walked down one house, and my neighbors were out front. And then we started to go across the street, but then we decided we shouldn't because might be more explosions. So it was scary.
I can imagine it was scary for those folks. 8 homes were evacuated last night as a precaution, but were later allowed to return. This story, of course, is continuing to develop tonight, and we will have the latest on News 3 at 10 o'clock.